Good morning. Got a little bit of a dusting of snow, and I'm still in my sleeping bag. I got up once to go pee, and this is how I make my coffee the night before, so I can just reach over and get it. It's instant coffee, and I use this old peanut container as a shaker, and it works real good. I put like 7 heaping teaspoons to make my coffee, and I like it that way, to be honest with you. I don't like drip coffee all nice and warm, and I don't like, the sugar and the cream or anything. I just like it straight. Now we're still getting a little light snow. I mean, just a little. It's actually going to be like 50 degrees again at the weekend. So, as far as I can see on Google, the next 10 days ain't going to be bad. It's going to be in the maybe mid-20s. It might dip down into a couple of times, and then it's going to be 30s for a low. There's my boots. In the morning, I'll just put them on like slippers. And, yep. I made a video about a half hour ago. I don't know if I'm going to put that one up or this one. I want to keep it just short, just so I can say hi and show people who follow Noah Road what it's like to wake up in the morning under a tarp, just, camping on the fly like I'm doing. I'm procrastinating leaving the town, and one of the reasons is because my friend's been away from town for a little over 2 weeks now, and I think she's coming back today, and I might get a ride down to DuBois, which I'd much rather do, because I got a little extra stuff than I should be carrying. It's just a little too much, and if I don't get a ride, I'm going to have to throw a couple of things away, like this blanket, which I actually would like to keep in my storage unit, but it's a little too heavy for me to carry, so I'm going to have to lighten the load. There is a bus that leaves this town every day, well, weekdays, and goes about 20 miles south, which is about 8, and stops in a place called Penfield, and it's like 8 miles from my storage unit. So I can take a bus down to Penfield and then walk the 8 miles, or I could walk all the way from here and just trust that somebody will come along and give me a ride or whatever, or I could walk to the end of town and sit there and thumb like a bum, which I don't like doing. I used to like to hitchhike and just stand there with my thumb out, and at this point I just don't even bother hitchhiking anymore, outside of very rare, and I'm carrying too much to hop a train, which if I wanted to go to Johnsonburg, I could hop a train down to DuBois real quick, but I'm carrying a little bit too much. I think hopping a train would be kind of fun. It's been a long time since I hopped a train, and I think it would make a good video. Just show up and say hi, just to say hi from a grain car or something like that. That'd be pretty cool. Rolling down the tracks, 30-mile ride. Get off and I know where it goes. It goes from Johnsonburg. It's real easy to get on there, and hop on down to DuBois, and it should slow down real, down to about maybe 10 or 12 miles an hour down there. And that'd be easy to get on and get off. Get on in Johnsonburg and get off in DuBois. But like I say, I'm carrying a little too much weight. I'm going to have a bag in each hand plus a big backpack on when I leave. Well, this is what it's like to wake up in the morning under my tarp at Stealth Camp, or camping on the fly, I should say. When I like I have a tent here if I wanted to be setting up a tent, which is better, you know, to camp in, obviously. But I don't want to. Yeah, I got it put away now, you know, and I just want it to stay dry, and I don't want to put it away wet or anything. And I was planning on leaving a couple of days ago, and I just keep procrastinating. You know, my knee was feeling a little bit funny, so I needed to stretch it out, and then it turned into a nice little workout. So I'm like, oh wow, I worked out. And then I was a little tired the next day, needed to rest. I'm like, well, why not just stay an extra day? And then I went over to my friend's apartment, kind of snuck a night in there to rest my knee and recover from the workout. And then by the time I left there, it was like 11:30 in the morning. So I says, well, why not just go to the, you know, go to the gym and hang out a little bit and watch a little YouTube. And by then it was kind of late. So I decided to stay another day. And then I'm here today going, well, I think my friend is supposed to come back. Maybe I could wait for her, and maybe tomorrow or the next day we can go to Du Bois together, and that sure would come in handy for me, because then I could get a ride and she could stop at a store, and we could take one more ride together and have lunch or something like that. I think that would be very nice. And that's kind of what I'm hoping on. If that doesn't work out, I'm going to have to get out of here either tomorrow or Friday at the latest and grab that bus or start walking. And if I have to go myself, I'm going to have to get rid of a couple of things that I really don't want to get rid of, just to lighten the load. I'm going to have to get rid of a pair of heavy Levi's jeans that I got, because they're kind of heavy. And this a nice blanket that I don't want to get rid of, and probably a couple of other things. Well, anyways, in the AM, opening my eyes, prying them open with my very strong coffee, and just, you know, it was a lovely night. I mean, don't feel sorry for me. This is actually lovely. Camping out like this. This isn't suffering for me. I feel very happy and at peace. I have a joy. I mean, I long for a home and all that other stuff, you know. And I believe that this is either my penance, if I never find a home, and it is molding me into a person, you know, that I never realized was even there. Sort of like how, I guess you could say, an artist who makes statues out of stones. The statue is already there. The artist just chips away all the pieces, right? Well, this life is similar. It is chipping away all the pieces that cover up the best version of myself. And it reveals my character. And it refines that character. And it brings me closer to God. If I was, let's say, in an apartment right now, and I had some sort of a little disability check, and I was just paying the landlord the money, I'm not saying that that's bad or whatever, or else if I had a job and everything, and I was doing it like I should, I guess you could say, and I was just paying some landlord the money to stay, I know that that's honorable in its own way, and I know that it's okay to do that. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying, for me, I mean, that's not going to reach the penance within me to chip away all the rough edges to make, you know, to reveal the character that I need. I don't know. For some reason, it just is not my path. And I'll know whenever this path that I'm on runs its course, I know that something will be there. But until then, I'm finding joy. This is a joyous experience for me, and I'm telling you, I sleep sometimes at my friend's apartment. I snuck a night in, because my friend, she's not in town, and I have a key, and I went over there, and she's got HUD housing, so I got to be very careful not to, I've got to be selective when I can stay over there. I don't want to just stay night after night after night after night. And plus her family isn't exactly fond of the homeless guy that she, is friends with. So I don't want to put any pressure on, I don't want to make them upset if they find out that I'm over there and stuff. So I do go over there. But when I do stay over there, to be honest with you, I don't sleep as good as I slept here last night. I slept here wonderful, and if I was there, the only convenience is like, oh, I can just plug my phone in and I can charge it, and I can heat up my own breakfast and stuff. I'm not saying that's I love doing that, and hope to be able to do that at one point, but what I'm saying is, don't feel like bad for me because I'm waking up in the morning and you're seeing like there's the dusting of snow on the ground and it's kind of cold, and I'm, my bed is, let's say, here's my bed. Under the cardboard, I got a layer of pine boughs, and on top of the pine boughs, I got the cardboard, and it really kept me nice and warm. But just because it looks so like this, it's something to feel bad about. Heck no, I actually really had a great night's sleep, and I have slept, I got here around 11:30. I was asleep by probably midnight, and I slept till about 7, so you're talking 7 hours of sleep, or at least like 6.5. It was really a good night's sleep, and I'm waking up and I'm healthy and I'm very, very comfortable. It's not that cold, even though it might look a little cold because of the snow. It's not. I have a little water thing I left out, and it's not, as you can see, it's not frozen. When it gets into the deep freeze, I do have to put my gallon jug of water into the sleeping bag with me. So it's a gallon jug of water that's strong, and it's got like a really good screw cap, not the pop top. And my coffee that I make, I have to put that down and sleep with that at night, or else it'll freeze. But we haven't had temperatures like that yet. But they're coming. But this whole next week, like, it's going to get 50 degrees, they say, on Google anyways. Upper 40s anyways, 48 or so. That's going to be like, pretty warm feeling after going through this. And, it's going to be okay for the next 8 or 10 days, and that's getting pretty deep into December. So once the deep freeze happens, it's only going to be on and off for a couple of months. It's actually not bad. It really is not that bad. Especially when I get down to DuBois, I got all the equipment I need to deal with it. I've got sleeping bags that the comfort rating is down to 25 below zero. I got a $175 sleeping bag in there, one of them. I got a couple of other ones that are like that too. I got this amazing down-filled sleeping bag, and I got, blankets to go put down inside of them. I got a tent down there and everything, and I can set the tent up close to my storage unit and break it down in the morning if I have to. So everything's gonna be fine if I don't get a place to stay, this winter. I don't want to get tied up into a lease and all that other stuff and get a whole year lease and to get all this security deposits and get the electric bill in my name and all that other stuff. That is the kind of stuff I want to avoid. I don't mind month to month rents if it's like less than $500 and I don't have to pay electricity or nothing. I don't mind doing that for maybe 3 or 4 months until I get over the winter. It's a nice little break, especially if there's like a gym in town. I can stay in shape. But I'm fine with what's going on here. I think this is lovely. And if I'm happy, why should anybody feel bad for me? I mean, I need a little help from people. Of course I do. But so doesn't everybody else. I mean, people that start a business need help from the customers, right? If they don't have any customers, their business isn't going to survive. You know, sometimes they need employees, you know, whatever, you know, they need the product that they sell, you know. And everybody kind of leans on each other for support, including me. So just because I'm homeless or unhoused, you know, if you say, when I need somebody, I'm a bum, but everybody else is, it all works out. Everything is on a spectrum. I am not like these other homeless people. I am refining my character. All character is refined. Think about this way. Everything reveals the person's character, especially the homeless life. And once that character is revealed as an evil person, then that evil becomes refined. And if your character is revealed as a good person, then the goodness is refined. So if you attach yourself to the impurities and to the Satan, that is what you get refined to, and you get welded into it. And if you attach yourself to God, and you're attached to the purities of the world, then that's what you get attached to. And that's what my character is. I find joy in all of this. Anyways, with that said, a beautiful, amazing, and joyous morning. And if I can find, you know, joy and peace, you know, living under a tarp, moving around and stuff, and living, you know, like I don't know exactly where I'm going to be at the end of the day. I have an idea. I point myself into the direction, and how things happen, that's how they happen. If I can find peace, if I can find joy in this, then what's other people's excuse for all their damn depression? I mean, I know I go through things that would be similar to depression, but what I see is not depression. I see refinement. I'm being refined. I'm purging something that's dormant inside of me that needs to be purged, you know, up and out. And then I refine a character a little bit more. So yes, I will go through things that is like a depression, and sometimes it can last a month or so. But I know what's going on. It's a purging process. So I attach myself to the purities and to God and prayer, and you know, I know that a lot of this stuff is just a penance. Anyways, with that said, from a place of joy, I say good morning and amen. Noah Road, over and out for now.